if I ever do. I hope all is well with everybody. Um, but if you, I'm not gonna do a poll today. If you check my community tab, my community page, you will see that I shared a video. It was a live that she did from another content creator, something Bay. I forgot her first part of her name, but go to my community tab, you will see it. She was spoken nothing but facts. If you guys haven't already heard, I did go live before about this case, but I was in the kitchen. And I feel like I was so like focused on being in the kitchen that I wasn't really concentrating on the case, and I don't want to disrespect Isaiah Harris because I wasn't focused enough. But I want to go live again later. So this is like a pre-live. I want to go live and talk more about it later. And like she was saying in the video, and like everybody who's sharing the information about Nizea, this glass is getting on my nerves. It won't get into my ear properly. This case needs way more attention. Cases like these need to be spread around. A PSA needs to be done for families, for mothers, for aunts, for any female figure in a child's life to be aware of sexual predators, child abusers that come into your home. You cannot give people who have abused children in the past second chances. You can love them from afar. If you really love them from afar. Love them while they're getting help and away from children. So Nizea Harris, if you guys don't already know, in Detroit, Michigan, over a year ago, her body, they still have not found her body. So it's looking like the boyfriend of her aunt was sexually abusing her for several years. I mean, they had an ongoing, inappropriate, abusive relationship. Text messages and stuff like that show the conversation they would have. Very inappropriate for somebody her age. There's an ongoing sexual abusive relationship. And so basically, it looks like Jackson. I'm sorry, what did I say, Jackson? Nizea Harris ended up being impregnated by Jarvis Butts, a grown man. He was in his 40s and she was only 11 when the sexual abuse started, and she was 13 years old when she went missing. And you know, he knows he's going to be in prison for a long time. Like, the evidence is there. I just wish he would be a decent human being and just tell people where her body is. On another live that I watched earlier, from the person who's, look on my community tab, you'll see the video that I shared from another content creator. She basically was playing audio of the court hearing with Jarvis Butts, and they were, after the court hearing, after the judge said what she said, the judge basically called him a monster. It was a family member saying, just tell her where she is. Just tell us where she is. Tell us where her body is. Jarvis Butts and even, what's the dude name? Stephen Stearns. I wish both of these child abusers will just come on out and tell people where the bodies are. Let the family put the child to rest. You know, well, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me take it back. They already found Maddie Soto, but in the beginning they couldn't find her body, and he was just pretending that he didn't know. But in this case, I really hope that Jarvis just comes out and tell everyone where her body is, to put the family at rest, give her a proper burial, proper funeral. But he just wants to be a creep, and he wants to, try to maintain his innocence. Like, dude, we see the text messages. We saw that it was an ongoing sexual relationship. A child cannot consent to sex with an adult. So you can't be like, she wanted it, she came on to me. A lot of these abusers, they like to blame the child. Even other family members will be like, oh, she's fast, she's grown, she knew what she was doing. Very inappropriate language, very toxic environment. If you live in a family that blames minors for being sexually abused by adults, you're not in a healthy and safe family. And I wish you well. I had a family like that, and I no longer involve myself with family like that. I don't involve myself with people. If I overhear anybody victim blaming, I'm out of there. I'm out of there. I cut someone off in recent times because she was a victim blamer. I cannot stand people who say things like that. especially children. Children cannot consent. Like I said in my live from the other day, I don't care if the child is completely nude around an adult. You cannot say a child came on to you. You cannot say a child pushed themselves on you. You cannot say the child wanted it. They are a child and you are an abuser. You're a predator. And you need to be put under the jail. You need to be locked away from society. So justice for Nizea Jackson. Why am I saying Jackson? I don't know why I'm saying Jackson, y'all. Her name is on the live stream title. Justice for Nizea Harris. She deserves justice. I really hope that the creep finally admits to where he put her body. But it's been over a year since her body been missing, y'all. So most likely her body is like completely decomposed, and probably all they can find is her skeleton. And it's just so sad that he left her wherever he left her, out in the elements for animals or whatever else to get her. Hi, Martin Johnson. Hello. So justice for Nizea Harris, and I'm glad that a lot of outlets, a lot of social media people are talking about it. It needs to be talked about. Any woman who takes in a known sexual predator, a known child predator who's on the sexual offenders registry, should be shamed. Any woman who supports abusers, who harbors abusers, who's married to abusers, who's making love to abusers, who's you know just supporting abusers, money wise and any other way, they need to be shamed. They need to be called out. Any family member who's supporting abusers, you should not even associate yourself with them. It's just not a healthy home when people are ignoring abuse, people are acting like they don't know, people are pushing things under the rug, and people are blaming children. Grown men, I just will never understand why grown men get so much protection when abuse allegations come out, and the children are the ones being blamed. The children are the one being shamed, being called grown and fast. This sick man, Jarvis Butts, impregnated this young girl. And it's clear from the text messages that he took care of the problem, because the last text message they had, he was basically planning to pick her from school, and she was ready for him to pick her up from school. He was the last person to see her live, him and I think another coworker or something like that. And he had checked into a motel. So who knows what happened from the time he picked her from school and went to the motel. She has not been seen since I think June 9th of 2024. And it's really, really sad. Her life was ruined by this monster. It looks like she didn't really have a chance because apparently, from what I'm hearing, Nizea Harris's mother was on drugs. Her father, I believe, was killed, and then she ended up living with her grandmother and then living with her aunt, and then the aunt is the one who's harboring the abusive criminal. His name is Jarvis Harris. He had children with the aunt, and he was accused and I believe convicted of abusing another child in the past. So he hasn't had a history. And from what I've been told, he admitted to the aunt, like, hey, this is my history. I've done this before. You either take it or leave it. And she decides to leave it. And hi, Saad Hall. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. And if everybody look how they look. Somebody could look at me and say, "Oh, you don't look really good. You look like this and that." But from the looks of the aunt, it looks like I'm not saying people who are very obese cannot have high self-esteem. People of all different heights and sizes can have high self-esteem or low self-esteem. But the aunt just looks like she was just happy to see this light-skinned man who I guess is kind of attractive, I guess, to her. And she's very, very heavy set. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like she is a victim of low self-esteem and I don't know, some type of issue inside of her that she felt like she needed to have a child abuser around herself in her home, around other children. When you love a man so much that you throw common sense out the window, something is wrong with you. When it comes to children, I don't play those games. I don't even want to know that you even looked at a child in an appropriate way. I don't want none of that. Like, I don't want that energy around me. I don't want any child coming to me saying, your mom, your boyfriend did this to me. I don't want any child of mine saying, Mom, your husband did that to me. I don't want none of it. There's only so much we can do as a parent. Our children are not going to be always around us sometimes. Sometimes they're going to be in the care of another family member, if you're forced to, especially if you have a court order, or they're at school. We can't see and protect our child from every single thing, but we have to do our best. We have to talk to our children. We have to let whoever knows around them that you're not tolerating any kind of sexual abuse. And definitely, we need to be doing background checks on these men that you're involving in your life. And if a man straight up tell you that he as a child abuser, why are you even in welcoming that? Some people don't deserve second chances, y'all. Some people don't deserve second chances, and unfortunately, this aunt gave this monster another chance and another chance just to basically sexual abuse. It was going on for years, y'all. This grown man was sexually abusing a minor, very young girl for years. I mean, he conditioned her, he groomed her, and it was to the point where she basically was communicating with him like he was her man, and he was basically ignoring her. She would say stuff like, hey babe, are you mad at me, and I only want you, and I don't want you messing with nobody, and you belong to me. And the conversation that the abuser was having with Nizea Harris was all sexual. I didn't see any message, I didn't hear any message of him. Hi, Syed, Kashid, Raza, hello. I didn't see any messages of him saying, hey, how was school today? Do you have any homework? How are you doing? He never asked about her well-being. He didn't care about her. Every communication the abuser had with her was, take off your clothes when I get there. Meet me in the basement. I give me some of this, give me some of that. Everything sexual. He was a sexual predator, and he was in heaven because of the aunt who allowed him in the home with her and another child, with other children. And from what I heard, he actually sexually abused his own biological child. And from what I heard, he gave that child an STD. And that's just really a shame. So I'm just making this quick live. Like, I will try my best to go live later, y'all. But I had a quick moment with y'all to share that don't accept abusers in your home. And if you know a family member who is harboring a criminal, harboring a sexual abuser, don't even associate yourself with them, and don't have any children around them. And if you suspect any type of abuse, y'all, please report it. And if you're afraid to report it, just do an anonymous tip. My live stream, you'll see the title of it. It's about Nizea Harris. She was a young girl who, it appears that she is deceased. She was being sexually abused by her aunt's boyfriend for years. It was an ongoing abusive relationship. He manipulated her. He groomed her, and he was speaking to her as if she was his sex slave, and she was communicating with him like it was her boyfriend or something like that. She was calling him bae, and are you mad at me? Just she was just failed. That little girl was failed by a lot of people, and I really feel bad for her. My heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to any young girl who's suffering in silence right now in the home of a parent or whoever, and they're being abused, and the parent is so caught up and so sprung off the man, sprung off the D or whatever else, that they're not paying attention to their child. It's really a shame, y'all. So I just love that other content creators are talking about it, because we need to spread awareness. Shame anybody who is okay with dating sexual predators. Shame any woman who's so desperate, who's so thirsty, whose self-esteem is so low that she is keeping a predator in the home instead of getting rid of him. Shame on anyone who's doing that. Shame on anyone who thinks it's okay to give a sexual predator a second chance. Like, why would you want to put a child in a situation like that? Children have no choice when it comes to who lives in their home, and they should have a choice. It's like some women are just so focused on their own happiness. They're so focused on their own sexual needs and desires that they bring criminals into the home with their children. It's different if you had no clue too. Sometimes you don't know, right? Sometimes you don't know. But if you know the information, why would you still have the criminal in your home? And we're in 2025 now, y'all. And, we've been in modern times. We can't make excuses anymore. There is this sex offender registry you could look up. You can maybe even call the police station, Google the person's name, there's really no excuses to not know anything about people anymore. You know, we all have made poor choices in men, trust me. But we're getting more and more advanced with technology, y'all. We have to start researching these men, especially when you have children. Like, never be so thirsty and desperate for a man that you, like I said, throw caution to the wind. So my heart goes out to Nizea Harris. My heart goes out to anybody who actually cared for her. My heart goes out to anybody who actually tried to protect her, because it looks like no one really was looking out for her. And if you're someone who knows her and you cared about her, feel free to correct me. But from what I'm hearing, everybody was failing her. No one was picking up on the signs that she was being sexually abused. No one was picking up on the signs that the abuser, was around her way too many times. Like, it's just, my radar just goes off. My predator radar goes up. Like, even little things I'm paying attention to. Like, why is he touching her like that? Why is he looking at her like that? And I know that everybody's not a predator, everyone is not an abuser, but I'd rather you just be on alert than to put your guard down and allow these predators to get in, y'all. These predators are looking for cracks in the system. They're looking for you to mess up. They're looking for you to be blind and dumb. And sometimes they're waiting for you to go to sleep so they can go and abuse these children. And it's just a doggone shame. But y'all, I have to go and pick up my daughter. I'm going to come back live later, and we're going to talk more about Nizea Jackson. I keep saying Jackson. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why. Nizea Harris. You guys see the title of this live. That's who I'm talking about. So Google it. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Google it. It's a sick story. This man deserves life in prison without the possibility of parole, and this man deserves to be put in the general population. He does not deserve to be in a special population where they don't touch you, they don't do anything to you. I will never understand why some of these predators are protected in prison. I don't get it. Once you touch a child, sexually abusing them for years, tormenting them, getting them pregnant, and killing them, and all this. Stephen Stearns doesn't deserve to be protected. Jarvis Buss doesn't deserve to be protected. Any sexual predator does not. We need to change the laws, y'all. I don't care what they go through in prison. Once you're abusing a child, I don't care about your well-being, because once you sexually abuse a child, they will never forget about it. They will never forget. They can't erase the memories. There's certain smells and clothing, different things can trigger them remembering when you abuse them. They'll never forget about it. No matter how much therapy you go through, you will always, unfortunately, have the memory of being sexually abused. Okay, some people, the brain actually, I guess in a way try to protect you by you not remembering what happened. But a lot of times you're going to remember everything. You're going to remember every single detail, and you're going to be triggered by certain things. So why should sexual predators be protected when they are causing lifelong trauma to young minds, to young people who didn't have a choice in the situation? Hi, Nia. You just got home from work. Yeah, it's like criminals get more protection and leniency, but the young girls who are being abused are being called fast and being called grown. It's despicable. Yes, if someone abused you, it's lingering. Yeah, you never forget about it. Yeah. And anybody who's a survivor of child sexual abuse, or anybody who's a victim, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. These sick predators know how to pretend and trick people to thinking that they're this nice guy, this good guy, and they have a way of getting supporters. Abusers have a lot of supporters, and it's really sad to me. And the supporters of abuser, they're no better than the abuser. They're no better. If you he's just a lost soul. I don't have no sympathy for anybody. If you sexually abuse children, I don't have any sympathy for you. I will never have any sympathy for you. Never, never, never. It is truly devastating. It took me years of therapy and counseling to heal from my abusive past. Yes, I'm in such a good place now in life, but I will never forget about what happened to me, and I will never forgive the people who allowed it. I will never forget the people who turned a blind eye. I just don't F with you no more. And if you wonder why we don't talk anymore, it's probably because you were supporting abusers, you ignored my cries, and you only cared about yourself. So, a mother's job, a parent's job, a parent's number one job is to protect their child. And if you can't do that, what is your purpose in life? What is your purpose in life as a parent if you can't protect your children? Yes, like I said before, there's going to be situations where you cannot control the situation. But if you're just like closing your eyes to abuse, you see, you see suspicious things going on, you seeing red flags, and you still ignoring it, I don't give you no kind of pass. I don't give you any kind of pass. I don't. I don't. But I'm gonna come off and I'm gonna go back again live, y'all, to talk about Nizaya Harris. Google it, look it up, look on YouTube. Look on my community tab, y'all. I did share a video, a live stream from another content creator who was going in. I loved every single minute of it. More people need to talk about it. I really want Cynthia G to talk about it. I want, who else I want to talk about it? I want Nancy Grace to talk about it. I want Nancy Grace to be like, breaking news tonight. And I don't think she's talked about it, but I'm gonna look up Nancy Grace. I love Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace goes hard for victims, especially children. So I don't know if I could email Nancy Grace and tell her about it. Yes, I'm glad that people are talking about it. But I'm gonna come off live, y'all, because I love Nancy Grace. I gotta run, get my daughter, and then I'll come back live again later. Okay, y'all. Thanks for joining for my little quick live. I just wanted to just get it started and get y'all ready for later. We're gonna talk more about it. We're gonna talk about women who has low self-esteem and the desperation of women who basically put children in harm's way. If women would have learned to have higher self-esteem and have more awareness, children would be in better situations. I can't put everything on women because there's men in the home too who allow abuse. But women, I just feel like you just think that's supposed to be like a natural thing for a mom to be like a mama bear and very protective. But some women don't have that motherly instinct. Some women never really bonded with their children, so they don't know what to do. But I'm not gonna give you a pass, especially when you've had multiple children. You know what I'm saying? At some point, your brain needs to click off. And like I've always said, if you can't do it, give your child up. Give your child up to a better home, a better loving situation if you feel like you can't do it. Baby, we gotta go. Come get your stuff on. All right, y'all. Come back live later, okay? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support.